What's going on, guys? My name is Baldy_OD, and today's video I just want to talk about Zangief's normals and command normals and area normals tier list. If you see other stuff on this tier list, it's because I'm gonna make a video on those in a separate video, so do keep that in mind. Now, most of Zangief's moves are pretty good, I will say. Some of them are a little flawed and are gonna go in this tier right here, but I didn't want to put them in a like S, A, B, C because I feel like that's kind of vague, and in some matchups a move is going to be better than others. But for the sake of this video, it's going to be more so speaking in a general against every character in the cast here. And we're gonna work our way up from bottom to top here to make it more interesting. So for starters, I think probably one of his worst normals, like without a doubt, it has to be his Smetana dropkick. I just don't see any real use in this. You can't use it to like beat shimmies really because it's so slow. You can normally react to it after walking back. They're gonna be able to block it. The recovery on this move is outright horrendous. Let me pull it up. Where is it? It is right here. Credits to Super Combo for showing all these pictures and all the frame data, by the way. Yeah, see, it has 40 frames of recovery, so it's really, really, really bad. I cannot stress that. And even if it's not a punish counter hit, the knockdown situation is terrible. You only want to use this in two scenarios I found, and that is to beat Jury Fireball in certain distances, if you don't want to use hop kick and get a lot of corner carry, or after a punish counter, DP punish, or something like that. Everywhere else, I have found this move to be outright useless. I do not recommend using this in any scenario. Avoid it if you can. Let's see. The next one I want to talk about, this is including air normals, by the way, as well. I'm going to have to go with, honestly, there's not that many in this tier if we're talking normal-wise. You can maybe put in his jumping light punch. I haven't really found a use for his jumping light punch. Like, it's fast and it's okay, but I don't know. I feel like it's not really useful, and it doesn't really do anything that other ones can't do. Like, if you want to hit someone low to the ground and go for a safe, like, atomic suplex, you can just go for light kick, and it gives you a way better scenario and also hits deeper. This move is just not very good, honestly. Next, I would say probably... Man, there's honestly not really that many that goes in this here. I want to change this. I just want to say, I'm going to put this one as has their uses. Okay, yeah, that's more better for that tier. I'm going to have to go with Crouching Heavy Punch. Crouching Heavy Punch, its reward is worse than what it was in 5. It is a super huge, its range is ridiculous. Like, vertical, it's super big. It is a massive hitbox. But its recovery is really bad. It can struggle to hit cross-ups. It's not really all that good, and if you were to get like a counter hit off of it or a punish counter in some situations, the reward is not very good. Like, the only way you can like combo off of it is you get a punish counter at like the very max height, which that's only maybe possible against like Dawson. I will say though, against some normals, if you are kind of like being sloppy with your buttons and you whiff punish him with this, it's not that bad because the knockdown isn't the greatest, but it's definitely usable. Let's see, what's next? I'm gonna say... Honestly, I feel like... Oh, crap, actually, let me do that. I gotta think about this. I'm gonna put Stomps here. It's probably like borderline this tier. The problem with Stomps is it doesn't fully combo, so the reward off of it is not guaranteed. There are mix-ups, like back throw into Stomps is a true frame trap. I mean, not true frame trap. It's a true meaty. You can use the frame kill in some scenarios, but overall, Stomps isn't really all that good. Its saving grace is that you can stop it. So if someone were to try to perfect parry the last hit, you can go for a command grab. And you can also just do mind games pretty much, like strike or throw. I will say though, the last hit of Stomps is very good, but everywhere else is, the other two hits are kind of just whatever, honestly. And also a big flaw with it, it's minus on hit, so it's not very good if you don't have meter. Next is probably that's I'm gonna say, honestly, I feel like there's not that much to put in these two tiers, like, because these other ones he has, like, they all have some use to them. Some of them are really good too. So I feel like it wouldn't be too fair to put stuff in other tiers really. But like I feel like after these ones, there's a pretty significant gap in their usage. So that's why these have two separate tiers. Next up, honestly, I'm gonna say, I feel like Light Punch can be pretty strong. It has super huge range, actually. And it's the only light normal to my knowledge in the game that's +2, and one of the few light normals in the game, period, that's plus at all. So it being +2 is really good. It also in combos does do more damage than say Crouching Light Punch. So you do want to keep that in mind if you want to go for optimal, like super duper optimal combos. You can, although its range isn't as useful as say Crouching Light Punch. It does have pretty similar range, but I think Crouching Light Punch has a little bit more. And also, it's kind of slow. It starts in like 7 frames, which is pretty bad for a light. Most lights are 4, maybe 5. But yeah, it has its uses for sure. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. Next up is probably Jumping Medium Punch. Jumping Medium Punch honestly isn't that bad, I would say. It's just like, off of a counter hit, it can be really good because in some angles you can actually do, like, say, a level 1 or a lariat ender. I mean, a lariat combo, which is strong, but those heights you get that in are very specific. And most of the time, the ranges it covers, jumping medium kick can do it better. So it's not the greatest ever, but it's definitely strong in some situations. Or like, say you want to punish someone for doing like a jump back, or like jumping back in the corner, and you like feel like a air SPD isn't gonna work, or you don't want to go for a level 1 because it'd be risky. But even then, you can kind of just wait to go for a lariat. So do keep that in mind. Next up is probably gonna be, I would say standing medium kick. Standing medium kick is actually it has really good range. It's a really good whiff punish button, and it also has a slight disjoint on it, which can be really good. However, it's not special cancelable at all, which does suck. Its reward on a hit really isn't that good because of that. But what's especially bad is because of its recovery and the fact that it can't be special canceled or super canceled anyway. That means it's susceptible to drive impact, which can really suck. It is a good footsie button, though, I will say. It is a pretty strong footsie button. Next up is probably gonna be, I'm gonna go with probably, this is tough. I would say Crouching Light Kick. Yeah, Crouching Light Kick. It has super huge range for a light, and it's only 4 frame in the game. But it is also like the reward off of it. If you're out of range to go for a lariat and you have to do say Crouching Light Punch and Crouching Light Kick into Crouching Light Punch, the reward is abysmal if without meter, and even with meter, since you have to end it with like Crouching Light Kick, Crouching Light Punch, Drive Rush, Crouching Light Punch, Hellstab, Lariat, the reward is not that good, and you have to use meter again to actually get Oki off of it. So it's not the greatest thing ever. On hit, it's also 0 on hit to my knowledge, if it's just like normal hit. So yeah, that's also something to keep in mind. But off of a bigger, off of say a counter hit, the reward is okay. I mean, you can go for a strike throw, which isn't the worst thing ever. But overall, it's not the greatest option in the world. And I think that honestly wraps up this tier. Again, like, these moves aren't really, they're only really bad because of not bad. They're only really they're not any higher up because their reward on their hit can be super specific, or it burns meter for not that good of a ward. Next up in the very strong tier, I'm gonna go with crouching medium kick. Crouching medium kick is actually a really good button. The range is ridiculous. Against some characters, it is pretty much invaluable to use as whiff punishes. Like this button and standing medium kick are insane against like characters who press buttons a lot in neutral, like say Cammy or like Kimberly, because it completely stuffs them out very well. It doesn't. This one doesn't go over lows. Doesn't go over lows like say standing medium kick can, but it's still really good. Although sadly it is again still loses the DI pretty badly, but I think it actually has less whiff recovery than the other one. Let's see. This one has 19, and then this one has 18. Okay, yeah. See. This one has less. This one has a single frame less, which may not seem like a lot, but in my games, I do actually notice. Like I'm able to act. I feel more like I'm able to act out of it, and say drive impact back with that one than medium kick. So yeah, you can also use it to frame trap in some scenarios, especially like with down, medium, down, forward, neutral throw. You can almost always frame trap to be +4 in their face. So you get to go for a meaty strike throw setup. It's very good. Next up, honestly, I feel like actually, no. I was gonna put this here, but I feel like it's a little iffy, and the reward on it isn't really all that good. It does have the option of being a cross-up, which is nice, but like there's also body splash for that, so I'm not gonna put that there. I think I'm actually gonna put this one in this tier. It's good, don't get me wrong. It's really good on block. You can even go for combos on it on hit, and you can also cross it up. But it's like, as a jump in, the range is not really good to be used anywhere. I will say though, there are like fuzzy setups or instant overhead setups that he has on specific characters where you do use this. So that's why it's not any lower. But because it doesn't hit very deep and the hit stun isn't really good, that's why I'm gonna put it in tier with these ones. So yeah. Okay, back up into the other tier. I feel like drop kick. I mean, not drop kick. I feel like axe kick isn't actually that bad. The reward on hit isn't the worst thing ever, even like after like a normal hit. It's not that bad because you can still be you're plus after a knockdown, which is nice. After a counter hit, you're even more plus, which you can go for say for drive rush opportunities. And then everybody knows off of a punish counter, this move just deletes HP. I mean, you take away a free 58%. Easily, and even mid-screen, you can still go for a Hellstab, drive rush, medium punch into EX, ARSPD for huge damage. The damage this opens up for makes it way better. It's also his only overhead option. It's his only grounded overhead. So yeah. Although, unlike almost every other drive rush, drive rush canceled overhead in this game, or overhead, it's actually pretty minus, like, even after a drive rush, like, it's still punishable. It is, by itself, point blank. Let me see. Point blank, it is, yeah, a whopping -12, and, like, even spaced, it's not that much better. It's, like, maybe -8, -7, which, I mean, that's still slow enough for characters, like, medium normals to hit them out of it. It's also super slow, and the animation is a little obvious. So it's not the greatest thing ever. However, after some knockdowns, you can hit their jump for this, or if they say try to go for like a crouching light kick or a medium kick, it does go over it, which is nice, which does open up opportunities. So that's alright. It's alright. Next up, I'm gonna put hop kick. I think hop kick is actually it's actually pretty solid. You can use it as a meaty. You can use it to like help you with left-right cross-ups. That's what I like to do. I would say like a sweep. I do punish counter sweep, drive rush, medium kick into left-right, which can be really good. Although sadly it does have more recovery than it did in, say, 5. It has 4 more frames of recovery, which does definitely suck. But it can still be used against characters to go over to like catch them by surprise. You have to just use it very sparingly though, and know the range to go for it. It can even be plus, but most of the time it doesn't help that much, and you can use it to kind of get in, but it's pretty iffy because you have to be very aware of the spacing for it to be plus on block. So because of that, most of the time someone can press a button and hit you for free. Doing with knee into SPD is still hilarious in this game, though, I will say. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna go with sweep. Yeah. Well, honestly, I feel like sweep could go higher. Sweep is really good. It's slow and it's unsafe, but it's really good outside of that. Yeah, I'm gonna put sweep up here. Sweep you can pretty much use it. It's a great whiff punish button. It lets you get in the corner for free, even on counter hit. The knockdown is the same as it is on punish counter. It's really good. It goes so far. It lets you get in for free and go for a mix-up. It's super strong, super good. The damage on it isn't that bad either. Like, let me look at it. Yeah, see? Yeah. Like, the damage, it does 1,000. Not so bad. On normal hits, it's not the greatest thing ever, though, because it does, push them away a little bit after hit, which does suck. But but even then, like, it's still workable in those scenarios. It's not bad at all. And again, the reward off of, like, a punish counter, which is where you'd mainly use it, it's really good. It's super duper strong. Okay, next up, I'm gonna put medium punch. Yeah. Medium punch is basically the, it's pretty much the combination of crouching medium kick and standing medium kick, but better. And while, yes, by itself, it has issues, like it doesn't combo, it doesn't combo like if it's a normal hit, and after the first hit, the target combo is interruptible, and the last hit is -17. That is true, but you don't really use it for that. You don't really use it to end it unless you know they're gonna jump, which brings me into my next part. It pretty much gives you an automated strike throw setup if you do get it off. The knockdown off of it isn't bad. It actually does a crap ton of damage for a target combo. Let me check. Yeah, it does about, what does it say? Okay, I have no idea what that's saying, but point is, it does like 22% of their life off of if you do it properly. On hit, it's actually really good because if you do get it off, you're +2 on their face, which lets you go for automatic strike throw, which can be really strong. If they try to jump away, they just get hit by the other ones, and then they eventually get knocked down. On block, it does the exact same thing because it's +2. So it's really, really good. It's also a strong whiff punish button, and the whiff recovery isn't even that bad on it. Like, let me check. Yeah, it has 17 frames of whiff recovery. It's really not the worst thing ever. And even if like they block it, it's -2, so it's safe. It's safe, it's strong, and it's good. There's really not much to say. Let's see. I'm gonna talk about Hellstab. Hellstab, I mean, it's pretty much the best new move he has. Like, I don't even think it's a debate. This move is so good. It is super fast. It's frame 7. It has a decent disjoint on it, so you can even use it as an anti-air, and especially to beat out like area moves, like say a dive kick or versus Superman punch in some angles. It does more damage than crouching medium punch. It combos into almost every strike move he has. It forces standing, so lariat is guaranteed off of any hit this has. And it puts him in a juggle state. I can go on and on about this move. This move, it's invaluable to Zangief. Like, it's the bread and butter. Not the bread and butter. It's like the glue to all of his combo game. That it completely makes up his moves. And it's also fast and it's safe. There's not much else to say. It's literally the goat of his toolkit here. Next up, I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna put. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna put. I need to make some adjustments. I'm gonna put these two here. They have a lot of whiff recovery and they're slow. For Heavy Punch in particular, Heavy Punch is both a really good move and a really flawed move in my opinion. The recovery on this thing is so bad. It puts his hurt box out across the entire ocean. You can accidentally whiff punish this move if you charge it up too much. And I've had people whiff punish me even for doing the uncharged version. It's just a super slow move that's really easy to whiff punish. It's also in this game, it loses to DI very easily. Like if they see you charging it, it can lose to DI extremely easily, and it sucks losing both drive gauge and eating a fat combo. It sucks really bad if they do drive infected. However, though, if you do end up hitting it, like say off of a punish counter, if you want to do it on Honda's Headbutt, the reward is fantastic. Like off of a punish counter, you get to go for a free strike throw game because it like SPD hits meaty, and the corner carry is insane. It gives a really good corner carry, and on top of that, the damage is very strong. So it's really not the worst thing ever, but in my opinion, I think because it loses to DI, which you know everybody has, and it's really not that hard of a button to whiff punish, it can be pretty tricky to use, and it's not exactly the greatest option ever. In some situations though, you can actually use it to combo, like say crouching medium punch, heavy punch, into say Hellstab Lariat. That's a combo you can do, but that's range dependent. It's a good whiff punish combo though. So yeah. And as for heavy kick, it's good at what it does. Like in combos, it's fine, and on hit, it's not bad. But it whiffs on crouchers, which really sucks. So that does stink, and it has a lot of the range is basically all vertical, so you can't really like hit people out of it in most situations, and it only knocks down if it is a punish counter hit. I'm pretty sure. So like it's good, don't get me wrong, but really the best places to use it are in combos, like in like standard like DP punish combos, or to catch people jumping out in a corner, because then it puts them in that free juggle state, which gives you a free I don't know, EX Air SPD or a Lariat. Okay, next up is gonna be Crouching Light Punch. Yeah, Crouching Light Punch is really good, and it's also a button that he uses in his combos a lot. Like it's basically his best way to do meterless combos, and off of just normal hits you can convert it into like drive rush combos with Lariat enders. It also lets you go for a strike throw, which is all good and all, but the main part about this move is that it's +1 on block, which is really good for a move as big as it is, for a light no less as big as it is. That it being +1 on block is very good. It allows you to do stuff other characters just straight up can't, and yeah, it's really good, especially when you incorporate it into a strike throw game. And if they even try to jump out, sometimes you can go for a Hellstab or just other buttons that catch jumps, and it's just really good. There's not much else to say. It's just a strong, big grapple normal. Okay, next up is gonna be Jumping Medium Kick. Jumping Medium Kick is actually, I didn't really use it for most of my time. I've been just now starting to incorporate it, but it hits so deep. It hits really deep. Like against like zoner characters, like say Dalsum or Guile, you want to go for this more than say a heavy button, more so than say his other ones, because it just hits so deep. They're gonna struggle to anti-air it, and because it's a medium air button, you get to go for Hellstab or Crouching Medium Punch basically every time. Like you're guaranteed to get a combo if it hits, and it's safe, and it's decently safe on block, so you can get to go for strike throw setups. So yeah, that's all that really is to it. Off of like say an airborne hit though, it isn't that good, but it's not supposed to be used for an airborne hit. It's supposed to be used as a jump in, really. If they jump, that's on them. Oh. Next up, it's gonna be Headbutt. Headbutt is also basically just a god normal. It is so good. The damage is insane. It leads into it's special cancelable. It's +4 on block, and it can be made even safer if it's meaty. I mean, like with meaty setups, this is like it's just a terrifying move. It's really good. I can't stress that enough. It is a super strong move. In some jumping combos, it's really good. Like heavier jumping combos, it's really strong. In certain situations, like you want to go for it, more so than say like Hellstab or any of his other combo buttons. So it's just really strong. Next up, it's gonna be, I said Crouching Medium Punch. Crouching Medium Punch is really good in combos. The range is a little stubby, but it's still a pretty decently big button. It's not to be underestimated at all. I think the problem with it though is that it's slower than Hellstab, and it does less damage. So I feel like it kind of gets outclassed by Hellstab. But Hellstab is a bit of a trickier input, so it makes sense why some people would go for, say, Crouching Medium Punch and Hellstab, because Hellstab can be pretty tricky to use in combos, and honestly, it's gonna be kind of hard to remember it in combos. I have a bad habit of me where I just forget to use Hellstab in combos where I should have, and that lose out on damage, and then I get robbed. But you know, it's besides the point. Next up, it's gonna be his Jumping Heavy Punch. Jumping Heavy Punch does a lot of damage. It just does a crap ton of gives you a crap ton of combo opportunity. It hits pretty deep. It's not slow or anything, and it knocks him down on counter hit, which can be really good if they're trying to hit you in the air. If they're trying to anti-air you. So yeah, do keep that in mind. It's not bad at all. Not bad by any means. I feel like it's a bit of a riskier jump in than say Jumping Medium Kick, but it's still really good. Next up is gonna be the last command normal and the last move for this tier list. It's a Standing Light Kick. I mean, this Standing Light Kick, it's insane. It is literally, it's one of his best buttons, bar none. This Standing Light Kick really does it all. It may be 7 frames, but the range on this thing is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't even matter that it's not disjointed, because the range is so big. It's so big. Like, I can't stress enough how this move is just ridiculous. It does it all. It is a great whiff punish. It opens up combos. It opens up strike throw setups. It's fast. It's special cancelable. It's super cancelable. It's safe on block. It does literally all for Zangief. It lets him go for things that he wouldn't be able to otherwise. It is just a great button, and if you're not using this button in your gameplay, you are honestly throwing, because this button is a must-use for Zangief. It is amazing. It is just, there's not much else to say. It's just his best button. It's one of his best buttons in my opinion. And yeah, there you go. That's what I have for my command normal and command normal tier list. There's not too much to say, really. I feel like most of Zangief's buttons are good, except like probably these two, really. But even then, like these ones down here, like all these ones, just because they're down here doesn't mean they're outright useless. Like, there's still scenarios where you can use them, like I explained. So don't sleep on these moves. Just because they're lower on this tier list doesn't mean that they're just unusable, or you should like avoid even thinking about them. Like, there's still ways to use them, and you need to think on how to apply them in your gameplay, or how you could maybe find a use for them that's even better than the ones I mentioned, because it's definitely possible. So yeah, all these moves are fine. There's not much to really add about these ones. These ones are super good, and again, these ones are literally invaluable in his gameplay. That's really all I got for this video. If I were to say though, like what buttons I would say that really needs to be buffed, it's this one. Like, please make it safer. It's ridiculous how minus it is. Make this one easier to use. This one feels impossible to use most of the time. And make the last hit of Stomps not minus, or just make a combo. It's not that hard to do. Capcom, please. That's all I ask. And yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you like it, please subscribe. I'm working on the Zangief level 2 guide, so do keep that in mind. That video is going to be a little bit longer than my other ones because there's just so much to add with that super. It's hilarious. And yeah, if you have any disagreements with these placements, please let me know. I'm open to criticism. And that's all I really got. See ya.